And that's our top focus right here on India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. Here is Omicron threat in India. Several states, including Maharashtra, Delhi, Gujarat, Telangana, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Rajasthan, West Bengal, Haryana and Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh. These are the states that have reported cases of Omicron. We're looking at the highest being reported from Maharashtra at 108, Delhi reporting 79, Gujarat reporting 43, Telangana 41, Kerala 38, Tamil Nadu 34, Karnataka 31, Rajasthan 22, West Bengal 8, Haryana 4, Odisha 4, Andhra Pradesh 4, Jammu and Kashmir 3, Uttar Pradesh 2, Chhattisgarh 1, Uttarakhand 1. A total of 422 cases of Omicron reported across India as of today. Of course, our reporters on ground bringing us the latest on the Omicron threat. We're looking at the festive season at a time like this. People out there brazen, without masks, flouting COVID distancing norms, all COVID protocols, in fact, violated in most of the cities. And we're seeing visuals that are scary. Despite doctors saying Omicron is a variant that hasn't seen any severe threat as such, but the fact that it is fast spreading, especially poses a huge threat and concern for people with comorbidities. We do not want to see a situation like we did of the second wave yet again. We should be prepared, and it appears that people are least bothered about the COVID precautions that have been put in place, not adhering to any of it, not even being fined or pulled up by authorities on ground. Our reporters there taking a close look at what's happening there in their respective cities. Shreya reporting from Mumbai, Saurabh Bhaktania reporting from Kolkata, Suryagni, in fact, reporting from Kolkata and Bengaluru there, Karthik joining us. Let me cut across to Shreya from Mumbai. All right, Shreya reporting from Delhi there. Shreya, if you can give me a glimpse into what you see on ground. We see people there brazenly flouting COVID-19 norms and without masks, reveling in the midst of crowds. It's scary because we're looking at the Omicron threat looming large. Take us through what action have authorities really decided to take?
Well, absolutely so, Nabila. You know, on ground, we do see that people, they're flouting the COVID norms, and definitely they're not following all the protocols that they should be, given the Omicron threat that's looming in the country. So far as the norms that have been decided by the respective governments here, as far as Delhi is concerned, the Delhi Disaster Management Authority ensured that no large gatherings will be allowed. They also said that the seating capacity at restaurants will be limited to 50%. Gatherings have been capped for 200 for ceremonies and other social events. So definitely there are norms that have been put in place. And also what we do know that the respective district, the DCPs as well as the district magistrates have been asked to keep a strict vigil on the ground, and that's being done. However, the respective protocol, so far as the people themselves is concerned, we see them flouting the norms so far that's concerned. But on the ground, there are norms put in place, keeping in mind the festive season particularly.
Right, Shreya, stay with us. I'm going to cut across to what's happening in Mumbai. Saurabh Bhaktania there keeping a close watch, bringing us the latest there. Saurabh, take us through what you see behind you.
So, Nabila, first of all, there's a lot of restriction now which has been imposed in the city of Mumbai. Earlier, there were no restriction, and a lot of parties were actually booked by the restaurant and hotel owners. Let me tell you, they are in huge loss right now, because earlier what was imposed, Nabila, that 50% crowd will be allowed indoors and 25% crowd will be allowed outside. But now, as the Omicron cases are continuously rising in the state, and most importantly in the city of Mumbai, it is complete ban for New Year party. After 9 p.m. you cannot go out in numbers. More than 5 people cannot gather outside. Also, this restriction is imposed from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. No party can happen at all. And what the health minister has also said, that right now we are not looking for any lockdown. But yes, if there is a rise of oxygen and there is continuous rise of Omicron cases, it can be very serious. So therefore, what they are saying is they are continuously monitoring a situation. They will they will look for another week, and if cases continuously increase, more stricter restriction will be imposed. Let me tell you, there are total 110 cases which are reported in the state of Maharashtra, of which good thing is that 57 have been discharged, and others who are still admitted have minor symptoms.
Right. Saurabh, stay with us. We know that even Kolkata has been brazenly flouting norms. Suryagni Roy joining us from Kolkata. Suryagni, in fact, Kolkata has, people in Kolkata have really been condemned for stepping out without masks, coming together in mass crowds, gatherings there, despite COVID protocols that should be in place. It doesn't appear that the West Bengal government is really doing much to avoid circumstances like that.
Well, Nabila, if you just, look at the scenario where I am right now, pictures will speak 1,000 words. I just asked my camera person to pan and show you the current situation over here. The night curfew has been waived off for the last 7 days of the week, but nowhere does the government notification state that masks masks are not mandatory. Masks are completely mandatory. That's what the government of West Bengal have been emphasizing on. Even though they have waived off the night restrictions, they are allowing people to get out and have a good time. But what people need to understand that with freedom there will be responsibilities as well. Now, this is the issue that we are seeing, that a lot of people are wearing masks, but just, there are so many faces without a mask, and that is the issue right now. So far, West Bengal government is still, sticking to its decision that they do not need a night restriction for this particular week or the last week of 2021, starting from 24th till the 31st. However, as I stated, that nowhere is it written that you don't need to wear your mask when you venture out. The government has clearly mentioned that wearing a mask is mandatory. It's sad, and it's only leading to a catastrophe that people are taking it extremely lightly and not wearing the mask. And one more very practical aspect that we have seen since morning is that when you have a huge number of people coming out on the streets, maintaining a social distancing is something that is impractical. If you allow so many people to get out. So what we have seen since the morning is that a lot of people are coming out. However, sadly, a lot of them are not wearing masks. Back to you, Nabila.
Well, you please stay safe. Let's hope that authorities are watching this. These are visuals coming in from the top cities, cosmopolitan cities, where people ideally know very well what the COVID-19 threat really means. People have lost their near and dear ones through this first and the second wave. We can't afford to take this lightly. Karthik joining us from Bengaluru. Karthik, we know that the Bombay government has now decided to call for a night curfew for the next 10 days starting 28th of December. What really prompted the government to do so?
Well, Nabila, as you know, yesterday on Friday, the Karnataka Health Minister Mr. K. Sudhakar had tweeted saying that 7 new Omicron cases have been reported in the state, which increases the state's tally to 36. Now, this is not the first time that the state is facing such a situation. Earlier as well, the Karnataka government has been very strict in terms of putting curbs and ensuring that COVID cases don't rise. Now, as far as today is concerned, the health minister came out and did a press conference in which he said that the state government will be imposing night curfew from 28th for a time span of 10 days. The night curfew will start from 10 p.m. and go on till 5 a.m. And apart from that, the government has also said that from January 30th to from December 30th to January 2nd, all restaurants, bars and pubs will have only can seat around 50% of capacity. Seating capacity is allowed, and also all staff needs to be vaccinated and also have to possess a negative certificate. And apart from this, marriages, function and other events that happen in the city, they'll be only allowed about 300 people of capacity will be allowed in all these events. And apart from this, the Karnataka government has also issued strict directions to all district authorities to keep high vigilance in district areas which are bordering Kerala and Maharashtra, because other neighboring states also are also recording high number of cases. So the government is taking precautionary measures on a war footing to ensure that Omicron and COVID cases does not rise this New Year's in Bengaluru.
All right, Karthik, thank you very much for joining us with those details. Our reporters there across the length and breadth of the country bringing us exactly what they see on ground. This is a scary situation amid the Omicron threat. Despite the this mutant variant, Omicron, not having severe repercussions. As per doctors, one can't take it lightly because you never know how the virus would act on those with comorbidities. Even if you may not be the one really succumbing to the virus, at least the fact that you could pass on or spread the infection itself is a big warning for you to follow protocols. Pramod as well is in Tamil Nadu, where he's bringing us a ground report on the situation there. Let's cut across.
With the concerning increase in case of Omicron in the state, the Chief Minister has initiated a kind of going to various locations to find out exactly what's happening on the situation. And here we are currently inside the COVID war room. There you could see the Chief Minister who is going around and he's seeing various panels which are showing exactly what is happening in the state. And he's also interacting with various officials in the COVID war room. In Tamil Nadu so far, officially 34 cases have been reported. However, there are a certain number of clusters of which several have shown S-drop gene, which is an indicator of Omicron, but the final result will be only provided after the exact test of whole genomic sequencing will be done. That's the reason there is a delay. However, you could see the Chief Minister is currently looking at one of the monitors, which is showing exactly how many beds are available, how many oxygen beds, the availability of oxygen cylinders, and various other things across the state. This is like a dashboard which is being explained to the Chief Minister. The Health Minister is also present at this location. The Health Minister has also announced that as of now, all passengers from foreign countries will have to undergo a mandatory 7 days home quarantine, and if they are from at-risk countries, they will go through RT-PCR test there itself, and if they test positive, they'll be taken to the hospital, and if they test negative also, they have to be in home quarantine. No-risk countries, earlier only 2% sampling were done. That has been increased to 10% as well. That's the Chief Minister inside the war room who's taking a stock of the situation. With Vijay's mother, Pramod Madhav, for India Today.
Now, amid the Omicron threat, the various states there across India have imposed fresh curbs. People continue to crowd markets, raising an alert over the potential surge of the Omicron. Let's take a look at this ground reality. Scary images of massive crowding in Kolkata amid alarming Omicron transmission. Despite curbs announced by several states, crowds of revelers refused to fall in line. From Kolkata to Shimla to Delhi's crowded markets, maskless crowds breaching COVID safety. The scenes are disturbingly similar. Bombay government in Karnataka has imposed a night curfew across the state from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. starting December 28th. Banned mass public gatherings and celebrations, only 50% seating allowed in pubs and restaurants.
Karnataka has recorded 7 new Omicron cases on Friday, taking the tally up to 38. Karnataka Health Minister Dr. K. Sudhakar has announced a slew of measures to battle the rise of Omicron in the state, starting with imposing a night curfew from December 28th. For the next 10 days, the state will be under night curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Neighbouring Tamil Nadu has made 7-day quarantine mandatory for foreign passengers coming from at-risk countries.
For the year 2021, New Year celebrations in the state of Tamil Nadu was completely banned. However, for 2022, there are certain restrictions that has been provided. The first and foremost thing is that no public gathering will be allowed at coastal zones. The state is also encouraging and concentrating on vaccine camps, and that's what you could see in one simple location in Chennai roads, where the people are requested to get vaccinated as soon as possible.
Night curfew also returns in Maharashtra with new guidelines. No big events allowed for Christmas or New Year celebrations. Only 50% capacity is allowed for gyms, spas, hotels, theatres and cinema halls. The government hopes that new curbs will stop Omicron transmission amid public events ahead of the New Year.
The COVID situation is serious in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Mumbai recorded more than 700 cases. Maharashtra recorded more than 1,400 cases. And this is the reason why various restrictions have been imposed in Mumbai and Maharashtra as such. Health experts maintain that the cases might rise in January and February as well. And it is very essential for the people to realize their collective responsibility and abide by COVID-appropriate behavior.
COVID curbs has been extended until December 31st in the national capital. Ban will continue on social and cultural gatherings to avoid overcrowding. Amid the surge in cases, Kolkata is witnessing blatant flouting of COVID norms and crowding.
As multiple states and cities are coming up with restrictions and night curfews, West Bengal government has completely gone away with the night curfew for the last 1 week of the festive season.
Will the festive crowds once again dent the government's Omicron preparedness? Bureau Report, India Today. Now, 5 states to go to polls in mega face-off, but this comes when the country is witnessing a spike in the Omicron cases. Punjab leaders are seen openly flouting COVID protocols. Could the polls be a super spreader event? Here's more on that. Dance of democracy in 5 states. Mega political face-off in poll-bound Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Goa and Manipur. But the season of rallies with massive crowds could be breeding ground for the super mutant strain. Omicron threat looms large over poll-bound Punjab. Not only political workers but also leaders can be seen flouting COVID norms openly. Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi himself is often seen without masks, failing to adhere to COVID norms. However, he has asked people to exercise caution.
कोविड ਦਾ ਖਤਰਾ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਤਿਹਾਤ ਵਰਤਦੇ ਰਹੋ
Akali Dal President Sukhbir Singh Badal too was flouting norms. When India Today confronted him for the negligence, he claimed there was no protocol in place in the poll-bound state.
Norms are not flouted.
At the moment, there's no more norms. There's no restrictions on any gathering, nothing in Punjab. So as and when they are put in, we will take the thing.
Akali Dal leader Ranjit Singh, who was without a mask, was apologetic, urging everyone to be careful during campaign.
हम देख रहे हैं कि चाहे अकालियों की रैली हो, कांग्रेस की रैली हो, कोई मास्क नहीं पहन रहा है।
हाँ, सॉरी, मैं नहीं पहना। ये कोई बहुत खतरनाक बीमारी नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी एहतियात रखना चाहिए। बहुत फैलती है, जल्दी फैलती है।
BJP State Chief Ashwini Sharma too doesn't care much about masks.
बड़ी रैलियां अभी तो शुरू नहीं हुई, लेकिन क्योंकि कोविड की तीसरी लहर पंजाब उससे अभी बचा हुआ है पूरी तरह से और वाहिगुरु की कृपा से बचा भी रहेगा, लेकिन उसका सबको पालन करना चाहिए।
The Election Commission has termed the new variant a challenge for conducting safe elections. The only way out is to increase states' inoculation drive, but the biggest hurdle is hesitancy. Nearly 37 lakh of the target population in the state are yet to be administered the first dose of the vaccine. Of the 2.7 crore target population, around 1.7 crore have received only the first dose. Only 88 lakh beneficiaries have received both doses.
With the third wave staring in the face, there seems to be a large build-up in violation of the COVID-19 norms. The question is, who's accountable for this particular violation of COVID-19 and where will the buck stop? With camera person Chandi Ram, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Mohali, Punjab for India Today.
Now, country prepares to mobilize vaccine doses for booster shots and jabs for kids. India has activated its share of vaccine doses in the COVAX alliance to make more doses available. These would be doses of Covishield vaccine by Serum Institute of India. States and union territories are equipped with 17.9 crore doses as balance. Moreover, orders for 20 crore doses have also been placed with Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech, which are in the pipeline now. Now, total dose protection is about, the projection here of the total doses is about 58 crore approximately.